people are like, oh, is it too late to get into Palantir? Absolutely not. I just said they have less than 300 commercial clients. There's so much runway right now for Palantir's business model that the scalability of it is bonkers of how much it can actually go up. If you guys are Palantir bulls, Friday was a glorious day for us. Not just because they got included in the S&P 500, which is huge, because there's going to be funds out there that are going to be required to now buy Palantir. That's why it catches that bid. But it's more of a narrative validation because, again, like since its inception, Palantir was always labeled as this black box consulting company for the government. Create this like voodoo magic for all what their offerings promise for enterprises. So a lot of people didn't like there's a lot of shitcodes out there, companies out there who claim they're AI or like they promise all these solutions to their issues. And if it felt like very voodoo-y or like magic wise, like they wrote that off because clearly there's a lot of companies in 2020, 2021 who promised these things that they filed for bankruptcy this year. Them being included in the S&P 500 is just huge because now they're being validated as one of the 5 most important companies in the world. And that's going to be a really big sentiment change on what Palantir is, because not just a black box consulting company, now they're a real AI software player that's in the S&P 500, which is an elite group to be part of. And you're seeing them catch a bid today, up 14%. And I think that's because it's paired up with BP, which is a massive energy conglomerate that's worth $88 billion. They renewed on their contract with Palantir for 5 years, where once you infuse Palantir's operating systems or ontology into your enterprise, that you're not leaving, and you're actually not just not leaving, you're proving to save hundreds of millions of dollars. You're going to continue to re-up. That's not going to cost Palantir any S&M costs or G&A costs. Like it's pure just revenue that's going to go into their fundamentals. That's going to be an 80% gross margins, maybe even higher because it's just a renewable contract. The commercial side of the business is just beginning. The revenue that they make is around $10 million a customer. Right now, they double their commercial client customer count from 125 to around 250-ish. The growth going up 100% year over year, and it's just beginning. And you're seeing these contracts getting renewed. And there's so many enterprises out there that I just said like right now they're at less than 300 commercial clients. There's thousands. There's tens of thousands of enterprises that will be adopting, in my opinion, Palantir's operating system. So is it too late? Absolutely not. Valuation maybe needs to catch up, but I don't know, because I don't know another software name out there that actually can validate a premier multiple valuation against their competitors and a growth thematic like AI that has no ceiling. Like Palantir is the only tier 1 AI software name, in my opinion, out there. And you're seeing their valuation, their multiple expand because it's getting associated with that premier tag. And nobody really knows the ceiling of that premier tag. But if you can continue to see like their largest commercial clients renewing their 5-year contract, the validation by the S&P is huge. And they have like a twofold tailwind of AI on the commercial stage. Also, unfortunately, as geopolitical tensions rise, which I think it's going to, Palantir will be a major beneficiary off that. So like they have the government side of the business and the commercial side both hitting a tailwind at the same time. And they're still worth only less than $70 billion. And it's just like wild times ahead. I wish it added more when it dipped to $21. I only added 10%, but I will be adding in any kind of macro-driven sell-off. And this is what I wanted to highlight of a potential pullback I could see in this name if the government shutdown happens. Because if the government shutdown happens, they can't spend any dollars on any existing contracts for whatever they agreed on. So Palantir, a huge component of their business is the government. So if they shut down spend for days or weeks, that's going to affect them in the near term, not long term, just near term. And that could be a potential opportunity on any pullback from that. I will be adding because I know it's short-lived. And I even at 12% exposure in my portfolio, like I don't have enough yet. I wanted this 15 to 16%. This is one of those names. I'm going to utilize that cash, use my soldiers to buy up because I know they're going to be one of the winners of this AI race that's only in the early innings. Love to see it. It's breaking $34. I think the next test is 35. all-time highs at $39. I think if it hits $39, I think it's going to be a blow off top in an NVIDIA type of fashion. And again, Austin and I make this comparison all the time. NVIDIA's narrative, when it changed from a gaming chip company to the king of the digital economy, you're kind of seeing that with Palantir, blackbox consulting company, turning into the AI software name. You're seeing the multiple expand and how aggressive the stock price is being reflected off that. Like, it's a very similar type of narrative change. And you saw what happened in NVIDIA. If Palantir can get to that 30% revenue growth for the next couple of years, from that commercial client growth just expanding as aggressive as it's been, it's not so like far-fetched. Like, and if that occurs, it's gonna run.
You mentioned a good point. Hey, a macro occurs, I'm buying pullback. Let's talk about where that is, where that could be. Because I think that's the best way to get everyone prepared for should that happen. We need to know exactly where we're going to make these ads. And I'm thinking best case scenario, we stay above our golden mean reversion, which would put us at about $30. Best case scenario. Second scenario would be trend support, right? Which right now would put us between 26, 27. Worst case scenario, but still a bullish trend, I think, is going to be staying north of $21. I also think that there are a lot of people out there that are going to probably try and sell the news on this. So I do think it's worth being said, like the macros being as unstable as they are and just being how hot this name has been, even though this is continuing good news, right? This is kind of like on par with the value of like a good NVIDIA earnings, but not a great one.
So much fun in the market. You don't feel confident what direction is going to go. You kind of put your money towards names that have proven that they're winning right now in a highly secular growth thematic, and also have a defense component where if things get actually awful geopolitically or government-wise, they're going to benefit. Palantir is one of those companies. So like, I also want to factor in, like, what if a recession occurs? Don't be hard-headed if you think that no recession might occur in the next 18 months. Like, that actually could be the case. What's going to happen to Palantir when all these companies in these industries that are like kind of archaic, that haven't really innovated, are having this net income squeeze on their margins? What are they going to do? They're going to look for products that can immediately bump up their fundamental margins. That's Palantir. Don't chase this name at $35, but we're going to get pullbacks. It's inevitable. This name has to be on top of your DCA list. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's up over 100% in 2024. I think right now, like, the days of it in the teens is never going to happen again.